everybody, Gina DeLuca here. Okay, so I'm going to give this rose cloud pour one more shot with having learned what I did in the second try. First time is just beginner's luck. If you can do it a second time, then you've nailed the technique. And I think what I did in the last one, I was spinning too quickly and pouring too slowly. And I need to do the opposite of that. I need to pour a little more quickly and spin a little more slowly so that those rings have a chance to get nice and fat, because I want fewer fatter rings as opposed to more thin rings. So that's what we're doing today. The colors that we're working with. I have Liquitex Basics in Dioxazine Purple. And that is mixed with just a tiny bit of the titanium white just to brighten it up a hair, because it does dry almost black and I still want it to appear purple. This is the straight purple. This has a touch of the titanium white in it. It's not much. You don't need a whole lot. It's just a hair. This color is a mixture of the DecoArt Americana Decor Satin Enamels in pure white, and that is mixed with the Dioxazine Purple and titanium white. So it's about 50% of the satin enamels and 50% of whatever other paints you're going to be using. So I just tried to get the color that I wanted. And then this color here is a mixture of the DecoArt Americana Decor Metallics in Berry and Amethyst. So I had used just the berry and it was just a little too bright. I didn't feel it was complementing that lighter purple enough. So I just added a touch of the lavender to it, and it kind of gave it a bit more of a purple hue. It only takes a little bit, and I do this all the time. I'll add one of the main colors in my pour. If a color is just standing out a little too much, you can just add one of the other colors that's in your pour, and it'll kind of, make it a little more homogeneous on your color palette. Okay, these paints have been mixed, 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol. That mixture is then thinned, if needed, with my 10% Floetrol, 90% water concoction. Sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't. It depends. When you open a fresh can of paint, it's a little thinner, so you might not need it. And then as it sits for a while, it'll thicken up. The sauce may thicken upon standing, Once it's exposed to air, it can start to thicken up, and then you might need a little more water. So when people ask me for, exact measurements, I can't tell you because it depends. It might vary between one batch and another. You'll get that a lot in tube paint. Sometimes it's thicker, just straight out of the tube when it's fresh, than other times. And if it's been sitting open for a while and exposed to air, it can get a little thicker. So I might need more water than other times. Sometimes I might need none. And so when people want that exact recipe, I have to express that it's like, you just have to know your paint. You have to get to know your paints. And the more you do this, the easier it will get. You will start to put 2 and 2 together, and you'll realize the exact consistencies that you need for things and how to spot that consistency. But if you get frustrated, go back to one of the techniques that you know already, just to get your mojo back if you need to. But do try new things. Experiment. It's not rocket surgery. Before we get started, have you seen the Fluid Art inspiration cards? If you have, you can fast forward about a minute, but if you have not, What we have are 52 cards. There are 42 technique cards, and each technique card has an associated video here on YouTube that gives you the exact everything that you need, the paint brands, colors, the recipe, all of that good stuff, and of course the technique. And then this box here contains a tip for that particular technique. Here at the bottom, you have the color palette that was used in that painting, and then these two boxes can be used together as the basis of a two-color palette. Or you can build off of those two colors. And there are 8 bonus color palette cards. Each one has 5 color palettes. Use all of the colors or just some of the colors, mix and match the bonus color palettes with the technique cards, and you have more combinations than you could ever paint in a lifetime. These are available at my website, GinaDeLuca.net, and also Amazon.com. And if you get them from Amazon, please do leave feedback. It is very helpful for the sellers over there. Okay, the consistency that we're working with, it is a 2 on my consistency scale. It makes a mound, but it disappears pretty quickly. Comes off in a nice thin stream off of my little spatula that I got from Fluid Art Company. Groovy little spatulas. So I'm going to lay down a base coat before I put my paint in the cup, because these are very happy cell makers and I don't want all of the cells to pop up before I have a chance to pour them. So I'm going to start with 2 ounces in this cup. I always like to make sure I have enough because I've run out before. Okay. And I cover my sides first because straight pours I mix pretty thin, and I want to make sure there's coverage on the sides, but in particular these round canvases, they're not perfectly flat on the sides just because of the nature of canvas and how that has to work when you're stretching it around a circle. And I don't want to risk the chance of my canvas showing through that. So even if my paint was thick enough, those little ripples might make it difficult to get good coverage. I should note that I do put my canvases on cup hooks, little C hooks. They look like this, and I level the canvas to the table where it's going to be sitting and drying. This has a bit of wobble to it. Hi, Bigsby. This has a little bit of wobble to it, so you don't know if it's sitting level. My work surface is not level, so I have to level the canvas to the surface where it's going to be sitting. I have it marked underneath, so I know exactly where it is. Always remember to check your consistency before pouring. The sauce may thicken upon standing. Okay, looking good. Pouring from up high. I want these to churn and sink. That is what creates those beautiful boulder cells. Those cool 3D looking cells. Okay, again from up high. Pouring from up high gives it the velocity it needs to really sink. Hi, Bigsby. You have food. Yes, you do. I checked before I started. Okay, so now I'm going to put a bit of this over the top because those paints need something to react with. Bixby. Okay, I need to hurry up and get this down. You can see it's already trying to pop up through there. It doesn't take long. Oh, Bixby. Bubbles. Hold on. Get them all you can. Okay. And I'm going to pour faster and spin slower, and I was going clockwise. Okay. So I know it's coming out all purple. That does not scare me. That often gives me the best cells when that happens. But I need for this copper, or this, there we go. There's always a little bit of the metallic sitting in the bottom of the cup, or like your cell makers. And the center is what becomes the focal point. So I try to make sure that gets out. It seems like if I kind of do this little bit of stop and start motion, it gives almost like a petal-like. Okay, I'm gonna change direction for like half a spin and come back. And that will hopefully give me my petal if I don't mess it up. Whoo! Okay, I can breathe. Holy frijoles. Okay. So my bud is looking pretty good. I just want to change this one thing. Okay, that should do it, I think. Let me just break that up just a bit. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna look like a rose, y'all. That might be the best one yet. Okay, pop the bubbles, lots of bubbles. This technique creates lots of bubbles. Okay, so while this does not look like flower petals, Bigsby, oh my gosh, is Timmy stuck in the well? While these don't look like petals, that's going to get stretched off. This is going to be the main focal point, and there will be some cells along the sides. So that's how that's going to work. Okay. It seems to be tilted a bit this way, so I want to center my center. You don't have to spin quickly. It'll get there eventually. Oh, jeez. Cat fight. Hey! Oh, brother. Never a dull moment. Oh my gosh, hey! Satchmo, leave Bigsby alone. Oh. Welcome to my humble abode. Oh boy. Okay, just want to stretch this out a little bit more, not too much. I want that center to be the focal point, but not everything. I mean, this is super cool. Completely different effect than that first one. Very interesting. You know, again, you know, the different paints that you use have different effects. So that's kind of what has kept me doing straight pours for 4 years straight, because it's different every time. You get different effects every time. And the paints react how they're going to react with each other. So this is a very different look than either of the first ones I did. So that's how these paints react with one another. Now let me see if I can just pretty up that center a bit more. It's hard to talk when doing this part. I don't want to do too much and mess it up, but I also I like nice tidy lines because I'm a control freak. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. I could fuss with this until I completely destroy it. So I'm gonna leave it alone. It's really hard. One more. One more. I have a problem. Gotta know when to hold on. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. Gotta get out of this painting before I mess it all up. Yeah, it was probably better before I did all the futzing. Hold on now. Got a little... You know, sometimes futzing ain't so bad. You can learn things. No guts, no glory, y'all. That's the key, straight in. And these little petal effects, they don't have to be dramatic. All right, I'm gonna get cleaned up. I'm gonna bring you in for a close-up. Back in a few. Okay, here it is, a completely different effect than the other two. By the way, Bixby was right. His bowl was empty. Somebody had themselves a little snack binge. So this is what happened. Completely different effect. Still cool. So maybe next time I will try it with a transparent background because that was something that was different. It was an Amsterdam paint, so it could have been part of that. This was also a fresh jar of berry. So that also may have led to it taking over. Sometimes those fresh jars are strong. It could be so many things. So many things. But there it is. Let's have a closer look at that center. It's okay. It's all right. It's all a learning experience, y'all. It's how we get better. Got to experiment. But, I mean, it's kind of rose-like, right? Can't be too mad at that. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you did. Do check out the description box below for links to my PayPal tip jar if you feel so inclined. My affiliate links. I am a DecoArt affiliate. And if you enter through that link or use the code GD2022H2, you'll get a 20% discount if you use that code. And if you use that link, I receive a small commission at no additional cost to you, and that goes for all of my affiliates: Blick, Amazon, Arteza, Color Art. But yeah, so use those if you're going shopping, especially with Amazon Prime Day coming up. Please enter through my Amazon link. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, in the description box, you'll find the link to my website, GinaDeLuca.net, where you can find my art and music and the Fluid Art inspiration cards for sale. And you will also find the link to our Facebook group. Go make some art. Join us there. Post your masterpieces. Ask your questions. Get some inspiration. A good time is had by most. It is the internet after all. All right, y'all. That is it for me for today. I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Now go make some art.